everyone, and welcome to you. Thank you so much for joining me today for my creative session where I share with you some inspiration. Generally, I don't go live on a Monday, but as I didn't go live yesterday, I am here with you. Normally, I go live on a Sunday night. I am in the middle of arranging my craft room, so uh, things are a bit hectic, and they still are. So, as you probably are aware, things when you start arranging, it's a never-ending process. So, it might take a little while for me. So here I am, and I am so glad to be here with you, and I hope you enjoy today's session. Uh, I My name is Rochelle Lynn Smith, and I'm from Stamping Flair. I'm based in Melbourne, in Australia. So my this is my craft and chat session, which I hold on a Sunday night generally, and on a Wednesday. But there's nothing stopping me coming, as you can see, on any other day because we can create anytime. And I hope to be able to join you more and more uh, this year as I share with you more videos, and a lot of them will also be on my YouTube channel. So if you haven't subscribed to me there, please do so. You are going to get more notifications there as I add videos. Some will be pre-recorded, some will be live, but with Facebook only allowing the videos to be there for 1 month, any live video, YouTube has that opportunity for you to watch it over and over again at any time. So you get to see that all the time. So I am grateful for you being here. Thank you. And I will share with you a card today that I have created using the lovely arrangements bundle. This is one of my top 5 products in our January releases. We do have an annual a mini catalog, not annual catalog, the January to April Stamping Up mini catalog that released this January. I feel like we're in February already because so much has gone on. We're still in January, and we also had some online exclusives released this month. So the lovely arrangements, which is part of the lovely Blossom Suite, is part of the online exclusives range, and this is one of my favorite suites and one of my favorite bundles. I think the bundle packs a punch. So and I'm going to share with you a different color palette, as I love to do, just take it off the suite and show you something different. So I hope you enjoy what I share. I appreciate you sharing and liking this video, so I please do so, and thank you for those who have. So in today's, before I go on, I'm going to share with you some other cards that I've created. If you haven't watched my card creation series, this is a series that I had last week. It ran over 4 days. I created 4 cards with the Brushed with Beauty bundle or suite, and in particularly the Petals of Beauty bundle. And I did use the lovely arrangements sentiments in there. So these were the 4 cards. I'll share them in order. There was even a fun fold in there. So, and this is a card making kit that is available for you to order until tomorrow, and you can get that right now. It's $45 for the kit, and this is the fun fold. And with the kit, it includes track postage Australia wide. So these are the 4 cards I created, and you can create them at home with the kit. It's as I said, it's $45 posted Australia wide. Registration's closed tomorrow. The PDF is available for $20, and that's available worldwide at any time. Now I've got a sneak peek of this Love Notes Designer Series paper. You might have seen this. I just got it a couple of days ago. I think it was Friday, and I'm going to be using this on my card today. And really, while this says Love Noise, I think it is worth looking at. If you're not going, oh, it's Valentine's and stuff, it is worth looking at. The color palette is, let's take a look. Asia Afternoon, Cherry Cobbler, Flirty Flamingo, Garden Grape, Garden Grape, Garden Green, Gorgeous Grape, real red and black. So a nice, I think it's a different color palette. And the papers, while the colors might be, you feel they're bright colors, like you're in gorgeous grape, real red, the papers themselves are quite muted. So very soft. I think it's a lovely softer color palette. And really, you could create gift tags with these because they've got the to and the from, and not specific to Valentine's Day. It's really, you could go with any. It could be a birthday, that right? We just like could be for best friends, right? For friends, something sweet for someone neat. So these work for like your Galentines and things like that. And then you've got the opposite side. This would be good, I think, even for scrapbook pages, that sort of thing. How cute is that camera? I wish we had the little like ephemera or a die cut. I think it would be really nice. So little, so you don't even have to attach that to something. You put a punch on the top, punch a hole, add that as a gift tag. But I think that will make great little scrapbook page bits. So we've got, I think it's 8. 1, 2, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah. Then we've got the next one. These have nice little sentiments, so you can again cut them out. You really don't have to have a separate sentiment stamp set. You can use just these. Love that piece. So cute. Again, for gift tags to from, you can write again for scrapbook pages. You can have that as your writing piece there. That's a lovely piece as well. So get those. Love that color, the garden green. I'm not a mad fan of garden green, but just that wash is really nice. Gingham, I love checks and things. So sentiments, happy heart day. How cute. How pretty is this with the little dots? That actually looks like cloud cover, but what did we say the colors were? Looks to me like cloud cover, but it could be just a very light garden green. Pretty, pretty. And a nice little scalloped edge. You could put that under something. So another bunch of nice papers there. Got them mixed up a bit, never mind. And then we've got this. I really like that. I'm not a mad heart person, but I like that. This is pretty too. It's got like a light pinky color there. I'll get rid of those. Then there's another nice one here. I'm saying they're nice. I'm saying they're all nice. It's a nice wash too. Sentiments again, which you can use. There's a love you can use for anything. That's a pretty pattern there too. Nice borders and things like that. So heaps and heaps of stuff you can use in this. Then we come to the piece we're going to use today. And hi Sharon, hi Jane. This is a lovely this in the cherry cobbler. It's stripes. It's like watercolor stripes. It's pretty, and we're going to be using that side today. And yeah, that's the piece we looked at earlier. So very pretty color combos. I think it's just something different, and it's nice to have your options. So like your Valentine's Day, you don't have to have only like the reds, and it's nice to see different things. Well, I feel that anyway. Sometimes you don't want the reds. It's nice to see the purples and things like that. So today I'm going to start with some stamping, and I have got a quarter sheet I'll put this in my tutorial. I'll add this. I'll have 2 tutorials for my newsletter subscribers, so please subscribe, and I will add this into it. I've already got it all ready to go so that you get this. So we'll stamp the image from the lovely arrangements bundle. It's got 2 flowers, but I can tell you the sentiments is so many. Even though it's just 2 flowers, you can use it many ways. And the leaf, and then you've got the die cuts, of course. So we will stamp it in tuxedo black. I'll stamp 1 large, and I'll stamp 2 of the smaller ones. So if you're interested in that class, the Brushed with Beauty class, I provide everything for that, including your envelopes, your designer series paper, your embellishments, ribbon. The cardstock is cut and embossed, anything like that. The only thing that is not provided is your stamped images and any die cutting that involves the actual bundle that is featured. So your Brushed with Beauty, you just use what you can either use what you have or purchase the bundle. Totally up to you how you go about that. I provide in every tutorial you get a product list. So each card has its own product list. I've got to stamp 3 leaves as well, so I'll stamp them in a sec. But first, I'm using Darling Duckling and Timid Tiger. So when I originally did this card, I sometimes just pick colors and I don't look, and I had mixed up Darling Duckling, and one was Darling Duckling and one was Daffodil Delight. It mixed fine, but it's just nice to sometimes have your the 2 combinations, so the same combination. I'm just giving you the link to beauty card making class so that because the registrations for the kit finish up tomorrow. I'll just pop that. I hope it pops up. Yeah, there we are. So all right, so we will start with, so we've got the light Darling Duckling. It's popped up twice, I apologize for that. And I'm going to start with these flowers. So adding my light. What are we all doing today? Are we working? Off at work, having a lunch break? Oh, it's probably a bit late for lunch, isn't it? Well, sometimes I do have a late lunch break when I'm at work. I find then that's the quietest time in the lunchroom because I want some quiet. Then I'm going to bring in my dark Timid Tiger, and I'm going to start here, right, just for there. I'll bring in my light Timid Tiger and start blending. Then we'll go dark Darling Duckling. If you start going over those edges, it'll blend really well. Then we'll go the light. And you want, it will be seamless, that blend. I'm going to start with the light Timid Tiger here. When I do this sort of thing, you don't want to go too dark at the start. Just see how it goes, because if you start too dark, you can sometimes, if it's too dark, it takes away that detail. It's not too bad with colors like this, but when you're talking like your navies and things, it loses a bit of detail and you don't want that to happen. So I'm just going over the color. Gives you a really nice blend. This is dark Darling Duckling. If you blend as soon as you do it, it blends better. You can see, you hardly can see that mark. I'm going in with the dark Timid Tiger. And I prefer to do it like this, back and forth, so I get, instead of going dark first, then I can work myself up with the colors instead of doing the dark first and then I can't remove it. I can with a color lifter, but then it's a bit trickier, and also it's just nicer to work for me. Most of the time I do this way, light color to the darker color. Now this is light Timid Tiger. This way you can build it up and see the change and see the shadows and things like that as it's building. So this is Dark Darling Duckling, and I will go in a circle trying to blend that a bit. If you wanted to speed up this process, you don't have to do it on white cardstock. You could die cut it from Darling Duckling and then work like that. I'd say, I did say I start from light. In this case, for the bottom, I did go with the dark. Most of the time I do the other way. There are instances. And then we'll go with the light one. And then just going backwards sort of thing. But as you blend it, I blend it into the previous color. This is a smaller area, so I'm thinking, okay, this is the petal that's under, so it's going to be lighter. I mean, beg your pardon, darker. Goodness, that was completely opposite to what I wanted to say. And now I'm using the light color to fill in the rest of the flower. So it's easy like this. You can just do the light. And then if you wanted to bring in some extra light shade, you can bring in your color lifter. When I first did this card, I had a completely different color combo in my head. Like I had these colors for the flowers in my head, but I wanted to combine it with red, and I still think it will work. It's just that my creativity went in a different direction. So it's always good to try, and it's worth giving it a shot with another combination. But I want to show you what I had done. This is light Timid Tiger. I am using the brush tip, but you can use, when you get to that top section, use your finer tip. And yeah, I've thought But when I put the colors, we can have a look at what it'll look like once we do some die cutting, and you can tell me what you prefer. We can even change it up, it doesn't matter. You've got to try things sometimes. And then I go, oh, the blue was just too much. I just go, oh, I really like that, and it's more my style. But nothing's stopping from giving another color a go, right? You've got to try things. And that's half the thing. Sometimes I go, oh, that's really not what I do, not my usual style. But if you don't do something, you'll never find out. What's your favorite colors or to work with? Are you a brights person? Or do you like more neutrals? That's dark. I'm going back with dark. Darling Duckling. I think mine is, I would say, I do use a mix of colors, but I would say subtles is my first pick. I always say, if I had to recommend someone to purchase things, I would say buy the subtles. But then I would say you pick what your combination of colors you like. You might be a brights or a regals, but mine is subtles, and then I would go neutrals. Neutrals is you can't go wrong, right? You cannot go wrong. Right, so now I didn't do this in my first card, and I will show you this. I'm going to try this. Okay, I'm bringing in my color lifter, making sure there's no color from any previous card. I'm going to do a little bit of color lifting. Let's see how that looks on one before I go crazy. Right. You've got to let that do its thing. Now, let's do the large one. Light. You'll see me turning my pen because my Stampin Blend. Sometimes it's very tricky to say, like with the lights and the darks, and that's where I went originally. I'm going, this color doesn't do anything. The dark, have I ended up with two dark darling ducklings, and then I realized it was daffodil delight because they look so similar in the caps anyway, the lids of the pen. That's probably my old age. I can't see properly. Bringing in my light Timmy Tiger. So I'm pushing it in to this center, following those lines and extending them. So now I'll bring in my darling duckling. As I push it, it'll add in a bit of that orangey tone from the Timid Tiger into that center because we're blending straight away, and we'll do a bit of additional dark Timid Tiger in there too. I did I said Timid Tiger Darling Duckling, sorry. This is a really nice color. Like initially, when we first got these colors, I wasn't sure about Darling Duckling, but it is a pretty color. Like it's a nice color. We are going to see new in colors in March as demonstrators. Can't wait. We always look forward to seeing what our new colors are. So fun. So every year we get 5 new colors, which last 2 years. So we'll be losing 5 colors. And that's Pretty in Pink, Shy Shamrock, Summer Splash, Peach Pie, and Petunia Pop. So we're going to lose them. They're going to go out of our range because they've had their tenure of 2 years. And we'll get replacement with 5 new. So these guys are continuing. These are in colors, but they'll be continuing for another year. So it's always fun. Is there any colors that you would like to see in our repertoire of colors, in our range of colors that you would think, oh, that would make a nice color mix. So now I can see a bit of a, it's not really blended well, so I'm just going around and adding some light around it, like Darling Duckling, and blending it. So it does take a little bit of time, but I like to take time with my coloring. It does give you better results. It's gonna make it nicer the time you take. If coloring is not your thing, again, you can do this on Darling Duckling. Stamp it in Timmy Tiger. It's going to give you a similar sort of result in the sense of, the two-tone, or you can stamp it in Tuxedo Black and add some shading in Timmy Tiger options. Right, so you can see here where I added a little bit of that color lifter. It's just lifted a bit of white, made it a little bit lighter. So I will do it a little more. And you can do this as well. So just to give it a bit of a variation, right? It's nice to have. If you have a gel pen, you can do that as well. Something a bit extra. Do the color lifter and add the gel pen. It's going to give you some nice detail. I'm bringing Shy Shamrock, and we'll do some leaf stamping. This is another leaf I have used so many times, and we're going to make sure that's stamping right. Test it out. Ooh, that was close. That was close. Let me get a tissue. If you are in Melbourne and then you reside around this area, well, even in the CBD, there is the Inspire Her Women's Conference. I am running a breakout session there. We've got many speakers, so it's an independent event, and I'll be running a breakout session there. I will be publishing details of that soon, but you can get tickets for it on Humanitics, and I'll be doing a card making session there. Go check the event out. We've got some great speakers there. That's on March 6th. It's a women's conference all about empowerment and my do you find this? Is it just me? Sometimes I work well, I leave that and come back. Because I would never have been good at, can you tell I'm not good at jigsaws? I, I do not like jigsaws. Okay, bit of washi there, and we'll get this guy on. You know what I did this morning? I did my tax for last year. I'm like, we're nearly into next year's tax period, and I am so far behind. It's funny, and my tax agent knows me. She's well aware of how far behind I am. It's not my favorite thing. Let me get, no, this is alright. This will do the job. So I'm going to cut these and then we'll do more die cutting. Alright, so we'll just cut all these bits. Those flowers, I like the brightness of them. Yeah, I am not a bright person, but I like the colors. Oh, sorry, I'll bring that down a bit. Yeah, I'm not so in your face. If you have trouble with any of this and you're nervous about taking that washi tape out, just add the heat gun and it will take it nicely out without leaving any marks or ripping your paper or anything. I'll show you them close up in a second when I finish these, all the die cutting and things. Then I'll do the next flower and a couple more leaves. It's vibrant and it looks very summery, the flowers. It's almost like sunflower color. I like it. Yeah, that guy moved. And I thought old olive would be nice too with this, and I wanted to try another color, and I think the Shy Shamrock made it cooler tone. Old olive will be more warmer tone on that. So different thing, a different look again if you wanted to try the old olive. And last one of these, then we have some little leaves to die cut as well. And I'll do that here with the machine. So these are the bits that we've got. Hope you can see that. Maybe it's not going to focus. Yeah, that's better. All right, so we've got that. Then we have these little leaves. There's a single and a double. So what I have brought in is some of the beautiful gallery designer series paper. Now this paper is in the annual catalog. So you get scenes on one side and sort of blank, more watercoloring, sometimes blank backgrounds, or you have floral backgrounds, different. Just pick one that has looks like a stone wash kind of thing, and I thought it's nice for leaves. So I'm just cutting a few leaves, and I might need a little big piece more. Let's see. Yeah, I might need another piece more. I'll cut a single one out of here. By doing die cutting out of designer series paper, it's giving depth to your project, in the sense of you're getting, had one here already previously die cut, and it's the designer series paper, depending on what you pick, has already that nice texture, so you're going to get all that as well within it, which is nice. So it's providing you with some nice detail. So these are the sort of pieces, so you can pick anything really. And I might have even done that. I'm not sure which one I did, but it doesn't matter. I think any of them would be fine. It has that watercolor look, right? So it's providing, it's an easy texture it's providing you. So it's slightly different color, and like I said, leaves are not all the same color, so it doesn't matter. The next thing I'll do is I've got some vellum. Now, this is another beautiful die that comes with this set, and I'm going to show you what it does. So just a small piece of vellum, and it cuts like little flowers, right? So we're going to place it in the center. So that's that, right? Okay. So we've got a few little bits and pieces here. We've got the vellum piece, and it cuts out that beautiful design. Now, you could add it, let me guess something. You could add it to something like that at the back, and you'll get that nice detail. Those are our flowers, which we've die cut and already. So I've got a thick basic white card base. We've got an Azure Afternoon matte layer, and then I've got the Whispers of Texture specialty paper. Trying to let you see whether it shows. Whether you can see that texture. Probably not. It's a bit tricky. What if I turn that light away? Oh, that is a bit tricky, isn't it? No. Oh, you might be able to just see that. Oh yeah, now you can. There you are. The stripes. There's one with more crisscross kind of pattern, and I'll show you. I used the crisscross one on like a checky pattern on my original card. And then I've got this Love Notes designer series paper. We're going to die cut it, and this was my case catalog, and we're going to die cut the edges with the Nested Essentials die cut. So we'll do that, and I've got a little more die cutting to do, but before I do that, I'm going to also stamp our sentiment, which is the thank you sentiment, and we will stamp it in Tuxedo Black on white. So right now, until the 2nd of February, if you order $90, and every $90 you order, you're going to get a bonus days coupon with Stamping Up. Okay? So if you order 180, you get 2 bonus days coupons, and there's no limit to how many you earn. So you save those coupons, and then from the 3rd of Feb, you can redeem those coupons and use it towards any purchase. Also, when you order with me and spend $90, you will get the Create with Us tutorial bundle. That there's 14 tutorials sharing with you how to use some of our new products that have launched in January. So, a great time for you to get some inspiration. We also have the product of the month. So, if your order reaches 125, you get the opportunity to purchase product of the month. So, that's the fabulous saying stamp set this month. You get uh, the opportunity to purchase that for just $9. So, great little incentive there for you to get a nice stamp set. It's not if you're already ordering, it's just not much extra. It's just $9 extra. It's to get a stamp set with a bunch of different things. I do have the stamp set here, and I'll show it to you. That's the fabulous saying stamp set. It's a nice I like the font. I think it's a bit of funky font. It's just handwritten look and really nice. This is another great die that comes in this lovely arrangements bundle, and what I'm going to do is use that to die cut a little border from this gold foil. What it does is gives you a bit of like a semicircle, so you can use that. So I will just want to make sure which way I go. I'll go the long way, so let's get a longer border, just see how much I need. Only thing is those little things leave a whole lot of bits and pieces, but that's okay. It gives a nice look. So let's do this. So you do want to get that nice semicircle look. Let's see if I have enough. I think I have enough. And that's exactly what I need, just a little bit to put under my sentiment. Now with this gingham piece, I am going to center this nested essentials die and place this there. What you can do partial die cutting, or you can just place your plates like normal, but just make sure you don't go past this point. And I just found that easier, and I'm just going to cut it there. So then that's just going to give you that tab, like the banner end. We're going to repeat that on the other side. Same thing, just go partial once you hear that click, and then you just have your shortened banner. Where the dimensionals come from, honestly, they're everywhere. That is at the bottom of my double cutting machine. Right, okay. So we're gonna trim this down. Trim it down. Splatter a bit of Darling Duckling Sometimes that works if you have enough ink. I'm just having a bit down there. And then I'll add a bit of glue at the bottom there. I might trim it a little more. Just at the bottom. There's a little bit of glue there. Then we'll bring in our gold. Just with your gold, be careful that you don't get glue on it. Saves me, who's probably going to get glue. I'll center it as much as I can, sort of, so that you get the same border on each side. And then we'll just trim it. That looks pretty even there. So now we can glue this onto our matte layer of Edge Afternoon. This is a nice subtle background. I've got a piece of the Brights Designer Series paper. So we get this 6x6 Designer Series paper in all our colors. So you get the brights, the subtles, neutrals, regals, and the two lots of in colors. So for the 2 years, so you get the different in colors. So this is the brights, and I'm just using this, and this is handy because sometimes you just want the single color and you want something in the actual color palette you're working with. So it is handy to have this, every pack, and they come out at the start with your annual catalog. Next I've got this, right? So you'll have one piece, it's gonna go the height, we're going to cut this in half. And I'm going to stick these on either side with a tiny margin on the corners. So a little bit of glue on the center because that's going to get covered by our label, which we've die cut. You could even add a glue dot, that'll stick well. Because it's vellum, you've just got to make sure you hide that glue, or unless you roll it on or with a sponge or something like that, then you can't see it. But really it's pretty good. You can't, it's not really visible too much. Now I'll add that So this is what I was thinking right initially with that red, but the blue just won over. Thank you so much for watching. If you're watching on replay, please say hi, where you're watching from, and if um, you want any information or anything like that, just get in touch with me or leave a comment. Happy to help. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more tutorials. I do them regularly. I'm just bending this at there. Okay. You can see where I've used the color lifter there. So now what I'm going to do, what I did do, a bit of extra on these flowers. And I used the tool that I had when I was doing my paper tooling, but you can do this with your bone folder as well. Sort of just go in the centers so it pops out those petals. So you're having a true fold thing. So these are going in, but that's coming out. That adds texture. The tool I did have is this and that, and you have to do it on a piercing mat or something spongy because that gives the right, and I can't remember what it's called. It's one I've had for years and years and years. And anything like that with the soft end, it's just going to create that. So if you've got something like that in the house, like even a soft edge pen, like the top of a pen or anything like that, would work. Would give you that nice if I was to go, you just had to be a bit gentle with the bone folder. If you're doing it like that, just go. Just go very softly because it's got a wider edge. It's not rounded. Okay. Now we're going to start arranging these flowers. I'm having one there. I'm going to have that there. I have a bit of a, when I've cut it, the border is too much there. So I will try and place that where a bit's probably going to be with a leaf. So you can't, it's a bit hidden. So then it's not so obvious. And we do a bit of camouflaging. All right. Then we have one here, and I'm going to put one leaf here. One set of leaves, I should say, and we'll arrange it like that. So my method is always put one dimensional in the center. Then you can start adjusting like that. Put that a bit higher. And then I've got my flowers all down. Then I can work around it. Oops. The sentiment's gonna go, maybe that goes a bit higher. Sentiment will be like that. So I'm putting down my sentiments. I can kind of work out where the rest is gonna go. Once I put that down, so it's just under there. We get the flower out of the way. There, yeah, and that's just gonna be lightly that way. And this one this way. I will cut these dimensionals a little. And then I'll add a bit of glue. So there's that one. And I'll put another one in here. I am adjusting things as I go. Okay, add that one there. So it's just being held together. With a bit of glue and a one-dimensional kind of thing, just to get it together. And there. We'll add another set of leaves here. These are the dark cut leaves. It just adding different sorts of leaves or variations just gives you interest, I think, and adds a nice look. Now I'm going to glue that onto my thick basic white card base. If I'm using white, I'll always use that thick basic white. It just gives such a nice finish and gives a nice professional, and you're taking so much time making a card. Take that time to create, do that little bit extra and make it so much better. Don't stint on the cardstock because it makes a difference, guys. Makes such a difference. All right, let's do a double ball. And then you can adjust it. Once you do that, you can fix it up. I just get my fingers in there, do the loops, and because sometimes you feel like it's all over the shop and you need 3 hands, it'll come together. And just make sure it's tightened. And I don't cut it till I've placed it on the card and you've got most of the time in it. There might be an exception to the rule, but most of the time I won't cut the tails till I've placed it on the card, worked out that I don't need any more part of that tail, and then I'm done. Although sometimes once you place it, or it might move and you think, oh, I wish I had more of that to work with. Then we can trim off anything we don't need. We'll bring it up in a second. For the inside, I've kept it, so it's quite bulky. It's not as heavy with cardstock as I normally do, but it is quite heavy because in the sense of it, this is cardstock and it's not designer series paper, but I love it. I like the feel of it when a card is like heavy and has bulk. It just makes me feel good. That's my what? It's like a weather gauge. It's a card gauge. The feel. Just some Darling Duckling and the designer series paper. I actually used just whatever was left over. I'm going to decorate the envelope, and I will show you how I did decorate the other envelope because I had some really little bits, and it was good to be able to use, because the first time I had done it in that way. So I will show you what I did with that particular envelope as well. So you don't have to have a full strip. You can work with what you have. Oops, that was it. Let's see how far it will fly. Okay, you drop it and then it goes to some other room. Once I dropped a die during a live, and after I thought, oh, after the live I'll find it. It took me 2 hours to find the silly thing. I'm just gonna add those 2 leaves there, just because I have them. I might as well do it. Just a bit of cuteness. Inside of card done, and then for bling, I've got this beautiful new bling. Right, it's like, it actually looks like polished wood, or maybe stone. I don't know. It reminds me of wood actually. It reminds me of like a polished wood. It looks so nice. It's called Streaked Dots, and Really, really nice. And I know it's none of the colors in here, but I felt it went really well with this because it made it pop. I will have the blog post. I'll link up to the blog post where you'll have the supply list. This was part of my Casing the Caddy Sunday challenge, which went live yesterday. So if you have subscribed to my blog, you would have had a sneak peek of this. But so that's my card, and you will see the original card which I cased. So go have a look at that, and which online exclusive I cased. So it's not in the catalog; it's in the online exclusive. This is the original card, and the paper is a little bit tricky to see. So this today's one I used the stripes, but this one, ooh, it is tricky, isn't it? You will see on the photos anyway, which are on the blog. It's the checked sort of very detailed, like a textured. Well, it's called whispers of texture, so it's a very detailed check um, paper, online exclusive from a few months back. Nice paper. So, and how I decorated this envelope, I had a little bit of designer series paper, and because I didn't want to throw it, I put it on a bit of Asia Afternoon, which is slightly bigger, and then I added that to a bit of Darling Duckling. So I had still made use of that, a little bit different to this one, but you can make use of your strips like that to decorate. Here I didn't add the white, the color lift I should say. This one, these flowers are a little bit darker because one of them I did have some daffodil delight as well. So you can see a bit of differences in this, but basically the same card. I will pop up the supply list for you. Remember, the class in the mail orders are closing tomorrow, so please make sure you get that. Virtual card retreat is this Friday and Saturday, um, 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. If you haven't ordered a kit, you can still do so. It probably won't get to you in time, but you can, once you order it, you will get access to the Facebook group so you can take part in the event. So you can craft after. You're going to make 15 cards, and this is the Fabulous Sayings stamp set, which is the product of the month, which I was talking about before, and that's $9 with a $125 order, which you will qualify to purchase. Thank you so much for your support, and I appreciate your orders. And to those who have ordered already a kit and my PDFs, I do appreciate that. I look forward to seeing you later on in the week. Have a great rest of the week, everyone. Bye bye.